All right, guys, it's time for another pod review again. This time is coming to you from James Malone. I'll get it right one of these days. The one I'm going to do today is one that I was very anxious to try. I've never tried it, and I've seen it quite a bit on Facebook, but I've never tried it. It is the white bubble gum. Beautiful little pod. This one's a little more elongated than the other ones. The other ones are round. But I figured I'd try this one. Alrighty, guys. Here's your pictures. Wow, guys. Did you see all of that? Look at how smoky it is just cutting the pod open. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, y'all, I've never tried this pod before. I've been very anxious to try it. I haven't fooled with too many white variant peppers. Um, this year I've grown the white ghost, the white habanero, two different types of white habanero, and the ahi fantasy. That's a white pepper. Just trying to think. But other than that, this year alone is the first year I've fooled with white variant peppers. And I've never tried this bubble gum. It's been very appealing. Look at how beautiful that calyx is. It looks like a flower or a butterfly. That looks like a butterfly. But it's a beautiful calyx. And look at how it just glows in the light. I mean, I can't help it. So I even got one of the pictures y'all seen, the pod glowing. I mean, it just automatically starts glowing in the light. I mean, it's just glows. It's pretty cool. But anyways, with no further ado, down the hatch. Ooh, instant heat. Mm. Oh, it wasn't the heat that got me like that. That flavor. Ah, it's a very, very strong 7-pot taste. It's hard to explain a 7-pot unless you've tried one. They almost all taste the same. Just kind of on the heat to see what it does. It's building slowly. It's a good all over burn. Tacking back here in the back of the throat. Uh, the tongue, the lips, the gums. I decided this time instead of getting a spit cup, I'd get me a glass of water. Be a little easier to swallow the hot spit. And of course, if anybody has eat anything hot, you know water does not help. Nor does milk, contrary to popular belief. It's a good all over burn. got an extremely strong 7-pot taste. I mean, that taste is hard to explain. I had somebody tell me the other day, or maybe I read it in a comment. That's what it was. I read it in a comment. That they thought it tasted like a bell pepper. That 7-pots, not this pod. That 7-pots in their self taste like bell peppers. But I don't know if that's how I would explain it. I'm still going to have to get a spit cup. I thought that would work, but my mouth runs. Give me a cup. I had someone ask me last time if I dipped. I don't dip. My poison is this. It's got a, for such a little pod, that's a pretty intense burn. It's moved, the back of the throat isn't burning no more. It's an all over mouth burn. My tongue, my palate, my gums, my lips. It's a good pod. I will most definitely be growing these. I think maybe the aftertaste. Yeah. The after effect of the taste has tiny fruity notes. It's actually decent. The aftertaste is very good. My nose is running off. I'm waiting to see when it's going to peak. It's still climbing. It's peaked finally. It's not going no higher. Oh, and to clear up some things, this little man right here, you can't see it for the glare of the picture. I've had people ask me in previous videos if that was a Catholic picture of Mother Mary. No, that is an Indian. That is a Native American 10 Commandments. I'm not a Roman Catholic by no means, but yeah, that's not Mary. I don't know why people thought that was Mary. I guess maybe if they hadn't seen it before, it looked like her. Yeah, that's James, that's a good pod, man. You done a good job. Good grow on it. It's a fairly decent tasting pod. Good heat. Heat scale, I give that a 4, 5. And it may just be because it's a tiny pod. The bigger ones may be hotter. But I've found sometimes the smaller peppers pack a punch, a pretty good punch. But it's about a typical 7-pot heat. 7-pot bubblegum heat. Look at that calyx. That's just beautiful. I love bleeding calyxes. I just love how the color of the pod bleeds into those. All of the bleeding Borgnine. I ain't much on a taste of a bleeding Borgnine, but I love the looks. All variants: white, chocolate, red, yellow. Just the looks. Bubblegums. I can't. There was something else that the calyx bled on. I can't remember right offhand. All of the bubblegum crosses that have bleeding calyxes. I just love the looks of them. Not much on most of their flavor. This one is a decent pod. Like I said, a 4. Heat level. Typical 7-pot taste. Good job, James. All right, guys. I will catch you on the next one. We'll see you.